Welcome to today's video, where we will explore and synthesize the most horrifying natural disasters ever recorded in history. From hurricanes, violent earthquakes, to volcanic eruptions and sudden floods, everything will be recreated through realistic and emotional footage. Join us to witness the terrible power of nature and feel the devastation it brings, so that we can better appreciate life and nature around us. A bus suddenly turned into a mobile swimming pool. I don't know if the passengers brought life jackets or not, but it was definitely an experience. The water was flowing rapidly, as if someone had just opened a giant water valve from the sky. In a breathtaking moment amid harsh nature, a man was swept away by raging floodwaters. However, in a moment of danger, 3 heroes appeared and promptly pulled him back to safety. A man, unable to withstand the furious force of nature, was thrown far away by the sky-high waves of Typhoon Kiran. The men in this village are having to flee from the floodwaters that suddenly flooded in, bringing with them terrible destructive power. A man's engine broke down while trying to cross floodwaters and is in danger. Luckily, a group of brave people rushed to help him. We are witnessing brave people overcoming the fierce flood without showing any fear. Resilient faces, strong footsteps. A massive flood has hit Japan, washing away everything in its path. Right here, a house was swept away, while people were still trapped inside. People trapped in houses being swept away by water are being rescued by rescue teams by helicopter. The bravery of the rescue workers was amazing. They are doing their best to get each person out of the house safely. A road was completely destroyed by massive floodwaters. Thanks to timely warnings, everyone was safely evacuated. But it is impossible to deny the terrible devastation this natural disaster caused. The road, which was originally a bustling traffic area, now only remains of debris and destruction. Man is fighting endlessly with the power of nature. During a fierce rainstorm, he devoted all his strength to protect his valuable assets. The peaceful house that many generations have lived in is now gradually being swept away by the fierce flood. In extreme helplessness, the house seemed to scream in silence. Each piece of wood, each brick seemed to break apart in the water. All efforts to save them became hopeless before the brutality of nature. A fierce thunderstorm just swept through. Strong winds broke power lines and caused widespread power outages. A man tries to cross a small bridge amid fast-flowing water. Oh my God, that was a risky decision. Suddenly he lost his balance and was swept away in the raging current. In Colorado, USA, thousands of people are trapped in the middle of a sea of floodwaters, with no way out. Many houses have sunk deep into the water, and the lives of people here are being horribly turned upside down. The tree fell with terrifying force, hitting the house directly in front of it. In the blink of an eye, the house was completely destroyed. A powerful tornado is attacking a building, sweeping everything high. Debris and furniture are being swept into a violent vortex. Nothing can stop this destructive power. A terrible tornado suddenly appeared and attacked a green forest, turning the place into a scene of desolation and ruin. Nature's fury descended without warning. Desolate scene after a strong storm hit a paper company factory in China. The dramatic landslide scene that had just occurred caused many people to panic and flee. Fortunately, no casualties were recorded. Indeed, this is a powerful reminder of how dangerous and unpredictable nature can be. The scene of a tornado appearing before your eyes at night looks like a demon. Amid the rushing floodwaters, the little dog seemed to have lost all hope. But at that moment, a team of brave workers appeared. With great determination and skill, they used a crane to reach and safely rescue the dog. Both the team and the dog returned to the arms of peace. Cars were swept away by floodwaters and stuck in piles after the flood passed. The cars, precious assets of many families, are now just lifeless piles of rubble. In Syria, the fierce storm suddenly struck, bringing with it horrifying flash floods, washing away everything in its path on June 8th. People here are facing an unprecedented disaster. The image is unbelievable. A solid iron bridge, once considered a symbol of sustainability and safety, was easily swept away by floodwaters. The fierce, constantly rushing water streams broke all barriers and swept away the bridge in an instant. Waves tens of meters high like fierce sea monsters attacked a stretch of highway, turning travel into a horrifying nightmare. In the middle of the vast river, a giant sinkhole suddenly appeared, causing the entire water flow to be sucked out in just a few seconds. The water receded like lightning, leaving a vast void. A terrible tornado has suddenly formed from the sea and is violently attacking the mainland, where there are many tourists. When the fierce whirlwinds blow away everything in its path, floodwaters destroyed a bridge in just a few seconds, causing traffic to be cut off. In China, a strong earthquake caused a landslide, causing buildings to collapse in the blink of an eye. Panic-stricken people felt the violent shaking and were in an extremely dangerous situation. A terrible noise rang out. Everyone was trying to find a safe place. A huge sandstorm, like a hungry demon, was heading straight towards the small town in the middle of the desert. The winds howled, carrying billowing sand and dust, engulfing everything in sight. A terrifying incident occurred at sea when a tourist boat capsized due to large waves. In that moment of life and death, fortunately, everyone on the boat escaped and was waiting to be rescued. Big waves are violently hitting the side of the cargo ship. The boat is swaying and swaying as if it wants to be submerged by the terrible power of the sea. Fierce storm winds swept through, making even the sturdy ancient trees unable to stand. The scene was like a brutal battle between nature and the resilience of the trees. Large rocks fell from the sky with terrible force, mercilessly destroying power lines and vehicles. The scene was truly overwhelming, like a scene from a disaster movie. We just witnessed an unbelievable situation when a strange object fell into the lake from above. Just as lightning flashed across the sky, a deafening explosion rang out. Just a few minutes ago, the scene was peaceful, calm, without the slightest sign of anything out of the ordinary. But then, suddenly like a nightmare, the strong wind came, destroying everything in its path. Trees were uprooted and fell. The peaceful scene became a chaotic battlefield. Raging tornadoes swept away everything in their path, leaving nothing but devastation and ruin. Houses were torn apart, trees were uprooted, and life seemed to be swept away in nature's fury. We cannot forget this image, a vivid testament to the terrible destructive power of natural disasters. This is a painful reminder of human insignificance before the power of nature. In this short video, we see the power of nature when the wind is strong enough to knock down strong trees in just a few seconds. This reminds us of human smallness and weakness before the invisible power of nature. Scene of devastation after the destruction of the tornado. The sturdy chimney columns suddenly collapsed, creating a horrifying and dramatic scene. The MC's eyes now contained surprise and surprise at the unexpected incident. The event raised many questions and concerns about the cause and consequences of the incident, making the atmosphere tense and impose. No one expected the new wooden house to collapse because of such a strong wind, the sudden force of nature, and the ease with which things can be turned around in the blink of an eye. Seeing the building crumble, I couldn't believe what was happening. A desperate display of the forces of nature. Huge concrete columns lie motionless amid the rubble. The volcanic eruption created a terrifying scene with huge columns of smoke hundreds of meters high. It is not only a powerful natural phenomenon, but also a manifestation of the ultimate power of nature. The cars below were damaged after this landslide. Heavy rain flooded a parking lot, causing many vehicles to be seriously damaged. Landslide statue, horrifying and heart-stopping. The people fled, but I stood there like a nail, filled with fear for their fate. At an outdoor wedding, a tornado suddenly made landfall, tearing through the ceremony and causing chaos. The wedding halls were blown away, leaving only a situation of war.
Hello, I am Mr. Kwan, the host for Moments of Rage channel. The channel reminds us of our responsibility to protect the environment. Take action today to protect our green planet. Engage in solid action to reduce carbon emissions and improve recognition.
With terrifying power, threatening the lives and property of millions of people, in the state of Louisiana, a natural disaster occurred. Storm Ida with huge power swept through here. Houses were crushed, families lost their shelter, desolate and devastated landscapes were everywhere. At first it was just a passing shower, but soon the rain started. The rain began to intensify, leading to flooding in a short period of time. The scene was horrifying as the house was swept away, crashed into the bridge and shattered into pieces. These images serve as a gentle reminder of the destructive power of nature. We are witnessing the horrific tragedy in Louisiana, where the raging floodwaters hit hard, washing away everything in its path. This bridge also suffers the fate of floating with the water. A tornado hit China, causing massive destruction. This tornado not only damaged facilities, but also brought hail, increasing disinfection ability to its peak. With its power and ferocity, this tornado created unexpected consequences, leaving many people in shock and pain at the loss. This is truly a horrifying natural disaster, reminding us of the unpredictable power of Mother Nature. A truck was hit by a powerful tornado. The scene was truly desolate and terrifying. However, a miracle happened when all the people in the car were fortunately safe. A large sinkhole suddenly appeared on the road after the rain. A heavy rain accompanied by a tornado suddenly invaded and swept through a small house. The image before our eyes is terrifying, as the tornado destroys everything in its path. Nature's fury is not only a harsh test, but also a reminder of human fragility. Get a stunning view of the erupting Popocatépetl volcano as seen from an airplane. A terrible scene when the strong current swallowed the houses into the ferocious river. No one could have imagined that in the blink of an eye, the lives and property of countless people would be swept away by the current. Large blocks of rock are rushing straight down, creating resounding sounds. Everything happened so fast, so unexpected. The group of people at the foot of the mountain discovered the danger and were running frantically. A car is being carried by the current. Inside, there is a man crying out for love. While escaping, he broke through the window and escaped, struggling with the gravity current. It was truly a calculated and emotional escape. Looking at this scene is so scary. Look, the streets have turned into rivers as the rains continue to pour down, and cars are now like boats submerged in water. Look at the water rushing over and destroying the bridge. Pieces of the bridge were swept away in the fury of nature. A man tried to cross the floodwaters by car but was swept away. While dealing with danger, he bravely clung to surrounding objects and was lucky to escape. This is an unforgettable run. Fast-flowing floodwaters, including rocks and soil, caused the car to get stuck. The small houses, which have been solid through many stormy seasons, are now like weak pearls before nature's internal storms. Floodwaters submerged the city. The warning was scary, as vehicles were paralyzed and people had to struggle with the rushing water. The rescue team is working tirelessly. Rescue boats are racing against time to reach and help stranded people. The scene is truly terrible. Floodwaters swept away everything on the road. Cars were used by girls as toys before the strengthening power of nature. An extremely terrible scene in this coastal village. Powerful waves pound the shore, creating igneous rocks as high as mountains, threatening to wash away everything in their path. But the most worrying thing is that some people are still not in danger. They try to stand close, film, play, and take pictures. In the brightest moments, these fierce waves can sweep them away at any time. Let's pray for their safety and hope that they will quickly realize the danger and leave out of this area. A tense scene is taking place before our eyes. The sky darkened momentarily, signaling an impending natural disaster. In less than a minute, the strong tornado succeeded, carrying extremely strong winds. This tornado was moving towards a house. The whirlwinds had fallen a series of trees in the angel's path. A tornado just hit. Imagine the horrifying scene when advertising signs burn, fire, and pine trees are smashed, blown away and dragged hundreds of meters. The solid floors that we once saw have now become desolate, transitioning in the blink of an eye. The destructive power of nature is terrifying. Everyone, please be careful and listen to announcements from authorities to ensure the safety of yourself and your family. We are witnessing an extraordinary and terrifying natural phenomenon. On the horizon, a menacing, swirling black cloud is forming, heralding the birth of a powerful tornado. Just minutes ago, this powerful tornado touched down on an industrial plant, sucks machinery and debris into the air. To make matters worse, this storm was also accompanied by intense hail, causing unprecedented damage. I have the thought that what if we get caught up in it? A gas station was passed by a tornado. Outside, strong winds limited visibility horribly. A devastating tornado struck a factory, ripping off roofs and hurling them into the sky. Workers captured the massive destruction on video, showing the true extent of the damage. This is an extremely dangerous situation with many major losses. The tornado is leaving a trail of destruction in its path. Everything in its path was damaged and swept away, thrown hundreds of meters from where they stood. The scale of destruction is truly astonishing. I feel how he feels right now. The scene was horrifying. With the tremendous wind speed, the trees seemed insignificant before the force of the tornado. Nearly all of them were uprooted and broken by the sheer force of nature. The power of this storm was astonishing and devastating. The scene was horrifying. With the tremendous wind speed, the trees seemed insignificant before the force of the tornado. Nearly all of them were uprooted and broken by the sheer force of nature. The power of this storm was astonishing and devastating. The tornado's majesty attracted storm chasers eager to witness its raw power. While these thrill-seekers captured the awe-inspiring spectacle, they also had to prioritize their safety amid the chaos. The danger is real and imminent.
Hello, I am Mr. Kwan, the host for Moments of Rage channel. Channel reminds us of our responsibility to protect the environment. Take action today to protect our green planet. Engage in solid action to reduce carbon emissions and improve recognition. We can build a greener and stronger future. If you find it interesting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click follow to spread the information.
Violent floodwaters swept 2 people into a whirlpool in China. In the midst of a near disaster, the rescue team fought fiercely and successfully brought them back to shore. A dangerous but extremely lucky safe situation. We are witnessing an unprecedented tragedy in Pakistan. Millions of innocent people had to evacuate, leaving behind their beloved homes, precious cars, and all their possessions were swept away, submerged in the harsh sea of water. This scene is so heartbreaking and tragic. The video released on July 4th depicts a building collapsing amid floodwaters in Central America due to a flood. A truck was crushed by a large rock rolling down, dragging the entire vehicle into the abyss. This scene shocked and heartbroken many witnesses. Southern Germany is experiencing a serious flood disaster due to heavy rain. Water rose, flooding many houses and disrupting traffic. Rescuers are doing their best to help those trapped. Severe flooding caused by heavy rains hit the island of Miguel in northern Portugal on June 3rd. The year 2024 has witnessed historic floods everywhere. Streets were submerged in rising floodwaters, and rivers with prolonged floods not only caused heavy damage to property, but also threatened the lives of millions of people. Let's join hands, enhance solidarity, protect family and community. Before our eyes is an unbelievable sight. A powerful flood, like a wild animal hunting its prey, rushed in. Just recently this river was dry, but now it has turned into an extremely dangerous, fast-flowing river. Luckily for a group of people nearby, they discovered it in time and ran out to escape. An extremely tense situation is taking place in Brazil. Prolonged heavy rain has caused widespread flooding, causing severe damage to homes, vehicles, and transportation infrastructure. The terrible scene when floodwaters swept away everything in its path. People are facing unprecedented difficulties and immeasurable pain and loss. A road was severely damaged due to a heavy rain causing a landslide. A tsunami suddenly hit Greenland, washing away working fishermen. Just a few minutes later, their boat was swept up by huge waves with the terrible force of the sea, forcing them to flee in terror. This scene was recorded and broadcast. It was unbelievable to see what happened. Tsunami devastated and submerged vehicles in Riverside, but fortunately everyone was evacuated. A tornado formed and struck passers-by in Thailand. Luckily, there were no injuries. A large wave suddenly attacked a house, causing 2 people outside to be knocked inside while the door was destroyed. Water flooded in, turning the house into a sea of water, damaging electronic devices. This horrifying scene of panic and destruction was like something out of a disaster movie. A terrifyingly strong tornado tore through Ray, eastern Colorado, wreaking havoc and shattering many homes in the... This afternoon, Panang Island experienced an unprecedented event. A giant wave suddenly appeared, bringing strong winds, violently attacking a hotel on the island. The images and videos recorded by people are truly shocking and horrifying. A brave man stood tall in the middle of a raging tornado to capture horrifying images. Unafraid of danger, he turned fear into strength, turning the tornado into a backdrop for his extraordinary courage. A sudden tornado hits an outdoor party, sending flames and dust flying into the air, creating an unbelievable scene. Can you imagine flames and dust floating in the air, then falling like a brilliant, colorful, and magical fireworks display? The dust storm at Burning Man created a dramatic and awe-inspiring scene. The sight of 3 water sprouts from the Gulf of Mexico forms a unique and mesmerizing shape. A forest that was once lush and green is now desolate and desolate after a terrible storm passed. The ancient trees have been knocked down. Their vibrant foliage is now scattered on the ground, leaving a lonely and cold space. An extremely strong wind suddenly attacked a parking lot, causing terrible destruction. The cars were heavily damaged, and many large trees were knocked down mercilessly. Imagine the formidable force of the wind, blowing away everything in sight, leaving behind a scene of chaos and destruction. This is truly a scary event, making us shocked and worried about everyone's safety. An extremely unexpected and dramatic development happened on a highway. A powerful sandstorm suddenly struck, causing visibility to plummet and traffic to completely paralyze. The scene became chaotic. People were confused and worried when they could not move. The fearsome storm has swept through, bringing with it destructive power. Trees, strong natural pillars, could not withstand and collapsed before the hurricane. A strong wave suddenly hit a small coastal village, plunging the whole area into panic. People here had to leave everything behind and flee in extreme fear. Screams, worried looks, and panic covered the entire village. We can feel the fear, the helplessness before the involuntary power of nature. An extremely terrible hailstorm was just recorded by local people. Fist-sized rocks fell like rain, creating an unbelievable scene. Sandstorm strikes a city image recorded on a plane. Powerful storms are moving into Arizona City this evening. This storm promises to bring heavy rains throughout the night, creating a scene that is both majestic and dangerous. A severe storm with strong winds and hail has hit Arizona, causing severe damage. Imagine, a man was faced with the terrible scene of seeing his house completely destroyed. The hail was as big as bullets. The wind was as strong as a hurricane. Everything in his house was severely damaged. A heavy rain suddenly came, flooding a subway. The scene was truly horrifying as the passengers inside the train began to feel anxious and panicked. The water poured in quickly, making it unpredictable for everyone. We are witnessing an extremely tense and dangerous situation in Aranga del Rey, Madrid. Violent floodwaters, caused by devastating hailstorms, rose and swept away a series of vehicles on the streets. The situation is truly alarming, as the fast-flowing water continuously carries away everything in its path. A lucky driver narrowly escaped danger when trees fell around him. Imagine the heart-stopping feeling when you see large tree trunks falling down right before your eyes. But with agility and calmness, you promptly dodge and escape. The ice dam has broken, and the huge stream of water is rushing into the bridge with terrifying force. The waves were fierce and powerful, as if they wanted to wash away everything in their path. A dam has just been destroyed by the ferocious power of floodwaters. Strong streams of water are pouring downstream. The people below are panicking and extremely worried. The man saw something strange and just wanted to run away when danger happened. A giant iceberg is drifting and causing terrible destruction wherever it touches. This is not only a threat, but also an important warning for everyone. On a normal morning, no one would have expected floodwaters to suddenly attack the construction site in just a few seconds. The scene was dramatic and full of tension as floodwaters rushed in. submerging the entire construction site in a sea of water in just a split second. Fortunately, no one was injured in this incident. However, that terrifying scene will forever be imprinted in the memories of those who witnessed it. A powerful tornado just swept through, completely destroying the wind power pole. Towering electric poles now lie collapsed, crumbling under the destructive force of nature.
Hello, I am Mr. Kwan, the host for Moments of Rage channel. Channel reminds us of our responsibility to protect.
Welcome to Moments of Rage channel. In today's video, we will explore together surprising and wonderful natural moments captured on camera. From fierce thunderstorms, raging waves of the sea, these vivid images not only bring awe, but also help us understand more about the magic and power of nature. Let's watch and experience these memorable moments. Image of beautiful ice balls on Lake Michigan. Wow, look at them! The ice balls seem to be sparkling in the sunlight, creating a magical scene. Looking at the white balls floating on the lake and everyone having fun is truly wonderful. A strangely peaceful and joyful scene. It's wonderful when we witness white snowflakes blooming in the middle of a frozen lake, a scene that is both magical and poetic. Let's enjoy this beautiful moment. On the vast ocean, a ship is struggling against the terrible power of the sea. Violent waves and stormy winds constantly attacked, forcing the entire crew to struggle. Oh my God, this scene really makes us unable to take our eyes off. Please leave a comment below this video to share your thoughts about the bravery of the crew and the power of nature. It's amazing to see these creatures sense danger and quickly leave to find a safer place. This is a clear demonstration of nature's sensitivity and excellent survival ability. The paradise in the distance with blue ice blocks gradually breaking and collapsing is a scene that is both majestic and heartbreaking. This beautiful sea surface is a testament to the dramatic changes of nature. Penguin colonies face ice sheet collapse during their migration journey. Confusion and loss are evident in every step they take. A story of nature's resilience and struggle. Share your thoughts about this moment and leave a comment below the video. After the rain, a rainbow appeared with beautiful colors, creating a scene of magic and hope. Have you ever witnessed a rainbow after rain? The sight of giant blocks of ice melting from the river, creating a swift current that destroys everything in its path, truly amazes and terrifies viewers. Imagine the majesty and harshness of nature clearly shown through these films. Looking at the ocean waves amidst this beautiful sunset is unmatched. Terrifying close-up shots of a terrible tornado, clearly showing the extent of nature's ferocious destruction. Look at the debris flying in the air, as if everything is being swept away with great force and violence. Oh God, everything seems to be slowing down before our eyes. Wow, that's amazing! A humpback whale jumped gracefully out of the water like a professional dancer. Its movements truly fascinate everyone. A snowstorm covered New York, turning the entire city into pure white. The roads, houses, and vehicles are all covered with a thick layer of snow, creating a truly enchanting scene. Oh no, my car is now just a pile of snow. Have you ever been in this situation? Well, what should I do with it now? Wildfire disaster in Madison County. The fire burned strongly, and the intense heat of the fire caused terrible destruction. The rescue team is making every effort to save this precious forest. Wow, what an amazing race between a fast ostrich and a fast car. Oh my God! The fields of weeds have fallen. The once peaceful road has now become chaotic and crazy, making everyone feel helpless. Houses completely invaded by dry weeds give off an indescribable feeling of helplessness. The majestic scene of the night sky, when lightning flashes, signaling a fierce storm is coming. Those dazzling flashes of light are not only a sign of natural change, but also a reminder of the immeasurable power of nature. A strange natural phenomenon. The coast is covered with sea foam after the remnants of a tropical region. This scene made people surprised and somewhat confused when cars and houses were hidden under a layer of white foam. Join us to discover the causes and effects of this phenomenon. In a scene filled with joy and laughter, the girls were happily playing in a pile of sponges. Crisp laughter and excitement were clearly visible on their faces. You are admiring an image of a mighty ship passing through the Corinth Canal, which is known as the narrowest canal in the world. Lost in the forest, I was fascinated by the magical beauty of glowing mushrooms. They shine in the dark, turning the night into a mysterious and enchanting world. If you are as fascinated and captivated as me, please leave a comment below this video. Do you dare sit behind him? This car will bring a new feeling. It will definitely be very interesting. Are you wondering if he's scared? No problem. He is extremely passionate about this new game. Wow, look. He was playing in the ocean waves and the sight was amazing. It seems like he is experiencing a sense of freedom while immersing himself in the vast ocean. Hey guys, let's admire the moment snow geese rule the skies in Skagit Valley. These geese fly around as if they are holding an aerial art show. This majestic and overwhelming sight will definitely make you unable to take your eyes off the screen. How terrible. Terrifying images from Oman show how the devastating storm not only flooded roads, but also completely paralyzed traffic. Rising floodwaters have forced many people to evacuate in panic. Share your feelings and send encouragement to those affected below this video. Imagine you are standing in the middle of a vast space. Suddenly a stormy train comes, crashing into a thick wall of dust. This is an experience not to be missed. The video will leave you breathless from start to finish. The peaceful village was suddenly submerged in a terrible flood. Torrential streams of water rushed in, sweeping away everything in its path. Please pray for them together and share your feelings about this video. In an unexpected moment, a violent tornado suddenly attacked the cars stopped at the red light. Luckily, no casualties occurred during this event. A tornado suddenly hit the clinic in the middle of the night. Everything was destroyed. Fortunately, no one was there at the time of the incident. These images are unbelievable. How devastating nature can be. Let's pray for everyone's safety and hope this never happens again. Mother Nature's wrath. Tornadoes destroy everything in their path. Witness nature's fury with terrible tornadoes that are destroying everything in its path. Houses were torn apart, trees were uprooted, and everything was in chaos. These are images that no one wants to witness, but are also a reminder of the terrible power of nature. The recent terrible storm has mercilessly devastated the houses that were once a safe haven. Now only scattered fragments remain. Trees, which are symbols of life and resilience, were blown down by the fury of wind and rain. The scene of lightning exploding and lighting up the entire sky was captured by a car camera in the most realistic and vivid way. Dust tornado. Yes, you heard right. From seemingly harmless small dust particles, a tornado was formed and created an amazing performance between earth and sky. So together, we admired the wonderful... A sudden mini tsunami struck, causing the ground to explode and water to flood the... Oh, in China, a landslide triggered by heavy rainfall has created a terrifying scene as rocks and earth cascade. Landslide phenomenon. This phenomenon occurs due to deforestation, accelerating the process of soil erosion. Landslides not only cause property damage, but also directly threaten people's lives. A rock slide caused by active soil action most likely left people below uninjured. Speed the moment the rock slide cascaded onto a busy road in Peru, left many witnesses trembling in fear. Lightning can strike at any moment while driving in a fierce. Thunderstorm. The rain descended with a devastating force, obliterating everything in its path and sweeping away all that lay before it. The moment Hurricane Ida passed left behind traces of its destructive... Look, supercars also suffered the same fate due to floodwaters. The flood quickly surged and causing all vehicles to float, and the rushing waters to inundate everything in its path. An avalanche hit near Takur village in Rudal district this afternoon, blocking the highway and burying 3. The scene of flooding in southern Brazil has caused many vehicles to be swept away by the currents with no reports of casualties. Heavy rain and a low-pressure system are impacting the Azores. In Portugal, a fierce mudflow swept away a 500-meter-long bridge across the river right in front of the city entrance. Flash floods swept through the village, causing the river to rise and the bridge to collapse immediately. The bridge could not withstand it and collapsed in an instant. Away the turn tornado chased after the man, but fortunately he narrowly escaped its... Currently, a dust devil tornado has touched down near Edinburgh, Alberta, Canada. The column of dust is billowing up, creating a rare and terrifying sight. We are witnessing a dangerous and unexpected natural phenomenon. A large tornado appeared, bringing with it a feeling of insecurity and anxiety spreading everywhere. The situation becomes more tense when the threat is potential. We're seeing stunning close-up images of a tornado in Barnes, Oklahoma. The camera recorded every restless movement and destructive fury of nature. We can clearly see the terrible power of a tornado as it sweeps away everything in its path, leaving nothing but devastation. Town of Silverton, Texas. This past Sunday, the area saw several tornadoes suddenly appear, causing significant damage and concern for residents. Authorities were quickly present to respond and support people to overcome this difficult situation. A tornado is forming on the horizon, bringing with it fear. The overcast sky and swirling clouds are signs of impending destruction. A powerful tornado, ready to sweep away everything in its path. A giant tornado with terrible power, creating a scene of devastation and chaos. Landslide created by heavy rain causing trees to fall in Cador in the Italian Alps. Fortunately, no injuries were reported. Heartbreaking news just arrived from eastern China. A fierce storm left at least 11 people dead and more than 100 injured. This storm not only caused human damage, but also disrupted the lives of many people, destroying many buildings and properties. Let's pray for those affected and hope that everyone will overcome this disaster soon. We are witnessing a wonderful event in Alaska. A giant iceberg has just broken off from the Hallgate Glacier at Kai Fords. What a rare and breathtaking sight. Look, the huge size of this iceberg is impressive. It is drifting in the middle of the water. Wow, the avalanche swept snow bombs into the river, creating an unbelievable. When a volcano erupts simultaneously with mud flows, it creates a spectacle of awe-inspiring. The current flood waterfall looks like a giant beast unleashing its fury. Under the onslaught of floods, the strong current of water can drown anyone brave enough to challenge. This is truly a dangerous situation. It is recommended that everyone stay away from this area to ensure safety. An extremely terrible scene. The mud flooded endlessly, creating a real nightmare. Cyclone Rel caused flooding and mudslides in Senapati, Manipur, India. A terrible flood has hit northeastern Brazil, sweeping away many people and causing serious injuries. Hail with stones up to nearly 3 inches in diameter, about the size of a baseball, was pouring down at a rapid pace. These rocks are falling loudly into the floodwater, creating an extremely scary and dangerous scene. Please be careful and stay indoors to stay safe. A massive tornado in Romania caused significant damage and unfortunately injured several people. terrible tornado just happened in Jatinangmu, Sumida. As you can see, the destructive power of this tornado brutally destroyed homes and vehicles. Debris from houses was swept away, and vehicles were thrown everywhere. What a haunting and horrifying scene. We hope that viewers will always be careful and closely monitor weather warnings. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts about this tornado. A small tornado had formed in the open field and carried with it terrible power. Although small, this tornado is creating strong winds and blowing dust and debris high into the air. This remarkable scene depicts a terrifying thundercloud sweeping across the city skyline, creating a truly unique. A giant cloud covered the entire area, attracting the attention of all residents. This is a rare natural phenomenon, and many people gather to admire it. In Bozeman, USA, which just experienced a fierce snowstorm. The snowstorm caused many accidents and paralyzed traffic. Many vehicles rushed into the crisis area. Rescuers are trying to rescue him. While driving, a tornado suddenly appeared. The car in front was yanked, but fortunately, no one was injured. This is truly a miracle in the midst of a fierce storm.
Hello, I am Mr. Kwan, the host for Moments of Rage channel. Channel reminds us of our responsibility to protect the environment. Take action today to protect our green planet. Engage in solid action to reduce carbon emissions and improve recognition. We can build a greener and stronger future. If you find it interesting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click follow to spread the information.